let's take out the flywheel key here. So with a little punch, just with a little screwdriver. Come on. Okay, so here's the key. And then here's the new key from NR Racing, offset flywheel key, 8 degree. It does indeed advance the timing. And the little difference is it's got a little slot in it, a little rabbit cut here. So it tells how to put it on, which way that slot faces. Looks pretty good. That's the way it shows it with the tall part. Okay, right. So let's do this little oil sensor here. So the conventional wisdom is you just cut the lead. You know, that disconnects it. So as it turns out, it unplugs right there. Yeah, that's weird. Looks like it wants to come apart. It's being stubborn. Come on. There we go. You can see why they cut it, because there's an end there. But so I guess we could take that whole unit off. So here's the one for here. Better keep this piece because it probably has something to do with cooling. It's on there pretty good, considering. Shit. I have that right. There we go. So there's the oil sensor. So we don't need that. See, I didn't have it disconnected on either motor, and we were making some turns and the motor would shut off, so it's a good thing that's going away. Okay, so let's get this throttle plate off of here. So I gotta take this spring off. Little tiny little son of a gun. There we go. And then this has got a little Z-bend on it. Okay. Throttle arm. So now we can take off the throttle plate here. Get that taken care of. Little engineering marvel right there. How they ever come up with that stuff. So, put this back in here. I hate losing nuts and bolts, you know. They get scattered around. Okay. Well, that cleaned that up considerably. You know, this insulator plate, that'll stay there. There's your spark plug. Okay, so I guess for the sake of argument, take off this arm. Okay, so there's the governor. Yeah, plenty of seepage, you know, of oil around this shaft. Now there's a little clip that holds it in, so once that's up, I'll pull that clip, it'll drop right out. Okay, so I'm going to take a minute here and just get some of this dirt and oil off of it. Clean it a little later. Got to clean it real good up there. And you know, some of that oil I saw earlier is really these plugs weeping a little bit. Even when they're tight, they weep. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is take off the side cover. Now we'll get into some more hard stuff here. This will be fun. So I've got a breaker bar here, 12 millimeter. These probably only have maybe 30 pounds on them, so they should come loose. But they say a crisscross pattern to tighten, so I assume that means to loosen too. Yeah, they don't have a lot of torque on them. It's come off pretty easy. Okay. One more. Okay. Now I can finish it with this. A little screwdriver under there, I guess. Very carefully. You don't want to mess up anything. Coming. I'm in no hurry. Yeah. On to the bigger screwdriver. Come on now. Sure, it's hung up on that seal right there. It's probably. There you go. Okay. Alright, so there's the shaft bearing. Gasket looks good, but I think a new one came. So there is a little residual oil down in there. So it's going to want to pour out. So let's show you this here. Okay. So, nice. So there's the governor right there, and the governor arm. See how that moves? So we've got to take this arm out, we've got to get that wheel out, and hell, for that matter, could probably take the oil sensor unit out too. My understanding that this slides off of there. But right now it's all timed up there. I guess there's a slot dot. Yeah. There's a mark here and a dot there that have to line up if I took it apart. But you know, I was supposed to put this thing at top dead center. Shoot. Well, I may still have to do that, but since the cam didn't come out, the timing hasn't changed. So I gotta get this extra oil out of there. Well, I've been reading the directions on how to get this governor out of there. So, right in there, right there is the plastic gear. And then this arm has to come out. So I fiddled with it a little bit and it hits the crank. So you have to cut a little bit off the top of it here, so it'll fall the rest of the way out. Plus I have the crank in a position where it will come out once I cut this shorter. So they say to use a hacksaw or a bolt cutter or something. And I can see why it's just a little too long. Okay, grips to hold this up. Not much room to work with. Okay, so I cut most of the way through it. Alright. Okay. So now it should come all the way out. Kind of a pain to get to. Okay, there's the arm, and there's a little washer in there you gotta get. Okay. There's the washer. The arm is out, so now there's a little plastic cap that comes off, and a washer behind it. I guess there's a clip in there. Oh, I see. It's not a C-clip, it's just a little piece of wire, it looks like. Well, it says you can grab the gear and pull it off of there. So let's see if that'll happen. Takes a little force. Let's try these. Well, I've had a bitch of a time getting this little gear off. It took me a while. I had to take a break because I was so frustrated. You know, so it's down in here like this. And they say there's this little ring. It went flying.
And they say you can spread the little ring apart, you know, or reach in and grab the gear with vice grips, but there really wasn't any way to get a hold of it. I tried, I got a bunch of tools out, pliers. So finally, I hooked the gear. Let me get it back out of there and I'll show you what I did. It said if you can get a hold of it, and you give it enough force, you can pull it straight off past the little clip. So what I did was eventually I hooked the vice grips on there like that. Then I put these under here like this, the needle nose. And when I hit up, and boom, it knocked the clip off, it went flying, and the gear came out. It's a shame you gotta pretty much ruin the gear to get it out. So there's no going back. But there's a washer down there I have to get, and then the little clip, I heard it land over there, so you don't want any parts left inside the motor. So let's see if I can get, yeah, I gotta get that little washer out of there. And I double checked my timing, nothing had moved here, the two little dimples lined up. So now I gotta, I wish I had a magnet. Get that little washer out of there. Dang, you know, it's still giving me fits. So suffice to say, taking it out isn't that easy, but there, got the washer. Okay. So, now you can see up in there, here was the gear that came out. Some other parts. There's the rod, came out. So now, if you look up in there, there's the shaft. Everything looks good, there's nothing inside the motor. I've seen guys punch this shaft out of there from the backside, which will work, but it's sealed, and so now I have to plug that hole. There's already 2 holes I'll have to plug. Let's see, 1 hole. So, anyway, got that part done. I'm going to make sure I wipe out everything in there. And then I guess I can start putting it back together. But that was a bitch.